Welcome to the High School Backwards Podcast. Your regular host is here, and he is back with a vengeance. Internet was out. Thanks, Storm. You suck. What doesn't suck is our friends and family who support us through this, including a friend of Jake's.
Got it, bro. Just give me a sec.
Jake.
So we got to give a quick shout out to Forerunner Productions and my boy Chad. He's one of the better up and coming producers in the entire game right now. They're gonna be based out of Atlanta, Georgia soon. I think right now they're in Lynchburg, Virginia. But just a quick shout out because he's helping us make better content for you. He's giving us some advice. So I want to talk about a couple things on their channel. Again, that's Forerunner Productions. Their top 3 podcasts are Let's Talk Fortitude, The Shelter Hole, and The Multidimensional Nerd. Honestly, if you want to check out a good podcast besides this one, go over to Forerunner Productions. Just give them a listen. Again, shout out to my boy Chad and Forerunner Productions. Thanks, boys.
Sick ass logo. Like that.
Yeah, super dope. I love it. I do.
Awesome.
That is one of the better up and comers in the production game. I swear. This man
I
is
believe
gonna
you.
He's gonna run it.
No debate.
You don't hang with the worst one, that's for sure. So okay, New England news, getting into it. Red Sox are absolute butt cheeks. No, I'm just kidding. They're doing okay. Chris Sale took a absolute stinger to the knuckle, broke his pinky. That dude can't catch a break. Bruins have done nothing. Patriots have done nothing to start training camp really soon. That'll be fun. And then preseason's about a month away. And Celtics have done nothing since last podcast, other than officially signed, since I was here, I guess, Danilo Gallinari officially. I was already known, but officially. Yay. New England news. Good. We have some stuff we actually want to talk about and debate today. Madden ratings. We're going to talk just very little about these because I think we're going to have a full review when they actually get released in a couple of weeks. Just the one I have up here is just for the receivers. We don't even need to talk about that one specifically. Does anyone have any opinions on the Madden ratings that they've heard or other than Mac Jones?
Yeah, I've got
They're
one.
terrible.
I've got one about the receiver ratings from today.
There's some right here, yeah.
Darnell Mooney is apparently a 79 overall in Madden, and I think that's an absolute crime.
That's absolute. At least 83.
Like,
even 83.
Darnell Mooney should be on that list that we have on the screen right now.
Agreed.
I'm looking at it. Darnell Mooney is better than Courtland Sutton. I mean, I like Robert Woods and Michael Pittman, but I would probably take Darnell Mooney over both of them, depending on
I don't
what
know
I
about
wanted to
Pittman.
do. That's fine. I think that's debatable, but like Darnell Mooney had a 1,000-yard season last year. He had numbers comparable to Terry McLaurin, and mind you, I love Justin Fields, but the Bears' offense is not good. Their offensive line is garbo. Their running backs are and the only 2 players they have on that offense are Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney. I get it. Terry McLaurin has done it for longer and with less quarterback play, but their lines have been better and their running game has been better. So give Darnell Mooney some respect.
Yeah, it's tough. And we're going to do a full review in the coming weeks before preseason starts and we get super into football because I definitely want to do a full review of like quarterbacks, wide receivers, all that stuff. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because wide receivers got released today, right? So it was kind of a big thing. But a main topic we're going to go into today is we're going to make our NFL tier list. We weren't sure if we're going to do one, depending on how long it takes. We're going to be starting with a quarterback tier list. Most importantly, because there was some disputes in the chat. Kyle made some erroneous claims.
That was a joke, by the way. That was a joke.
Okay. Well, we're going to find out what that was on next show. I'm just kidding. What was your joke, Kyle?
What was your joke, Kyle?
While I'm telling the joke, Nick, add an F tier.
I'm not adding an F tier.
No, add an F tier. Add an F tier. I put Daniel Jones in the S category and everyone else in the F category. And I may have been joking, may have totally been serious. We will wait to see. But no, I was joking. Obviously, Daniel Jones is not an S tier as much as I wish he was. But he's not. So that's all right. But also accidentally put Russell Wilson in the C tier. My bad.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
That was the worst, second worst take you had in that actual one you did.
That was by accident, by the way. Totally by accident. He was not supposed to go there.
Okay, well, we're going to go through this and do this now together, and we're going to see how this goes. So we're going to go in order because that's more fun. I personally am a believer that there is no one S-tier quarterback. I think that I like to have more of a uniform thing where there's a group of people that are S and so on. So I don't think we should put like Josh Allen in S and no one else in S. Like Josh Allen's going in S.
I like to cap my S tiers at 3, and I have specific reasons for each of the 3 that I use.
I'm fine with that.
I agree with Josh Allen being S tier. Height, weight, speed, arm, accuracy. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, no doubt. Honestly, I think it's arguable that he's the best quarterback in the league right now. I know that a lot of people will say it's Patrick Mahomes or maybe Tom Brady, maybe Aaron Rodgers. I could make a very strong argument that Josh Allen carrying the running game and the passing game of the Buffalo Bills offense makes him the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yes, I think it's very close. He might be, and honestly, I don't even hate him.
There are three quarterbacks that I would put like 1A, 1B, 1C, and we'll see it as it comes to fruition here.
Yes, but we all have to agree there, Jake. We all have to.
I actually think the one up next is also an S tier, but you guys are going to disagree with me on that.
No,
probably.
I completely agree.
No, I agree. The rings say it all.
As a non-biased Patriots fan, Tom Brady was one of the best quarterbacks in the league last year. He had the most passing.
He should have been the MVP. My reason for putting Tom Brady in S tier is probably different than everybody else's. It's regardless of arm strength, regardless of athleticism. Tom Brady has mastered the mind element of football.
Like Peyton Manning.
There isn't anything that Tom Brady hasn't seen, and you can't play chess with him because he's better at you than chess. He's better than you at the game of chess. You can't play chess with him. You cannot trick him. That's why Tom Brady belongs in S tier. End of story, regardless of the arm.
I can agree to you that besides the rings for Brady, his decision-making on the field has led him to all the wins in his career, all the Super Bowl wins, all playoff wins that he's gone through, the accolades he's received. So, I mean, I have to agree with you, Jake. It is literally Brady's just decision-making on the field has made him probably one of the S-tier quarterbacks, in my opinion.
I actually think Kyle disagrees with us right now. He's over there shaking his head.
No, the only reason I would disagree was I think you guys are taking a lot into account what he did before last year. I think you guys like Andrew kept saying, rings speak for himself. And I don't necessarily agree. I don't agree with that being the argument to put him in S tier. I agree with what Nick said, being that he was arguably one of the best quarterbacks last year and should have been MVP. I agree with that because that's not debatable. So
I don't think he should have been MVP. I think Joe Burrow should have been MVP. So that's just my personal opinion.
I don't think you should always look at because Tom Brady had such a long career. Like Tom Brady's been playing longer than some of these players have been alive. Like I'm just saying, like you can't necessarily take into account that entire career for this one ranking. At least I don't personally think so. I'm not disagreeing with where we're putting him. I'm disagreeing with a little bit of the logic.
I agree, Kyle.
But the only one who brought up his pass was Andrew, and I mean the 7 rings have to be included in the analysis.
I don't think they should be for this rank because are we?
Well, we are doing 2022, 2023. Yes. We're doing for this year.
Season. Yes.
Okay, fine. I take back the ring statement, but it still should be implied to the fact that he's been a great quarterback his whole career.
If we're talking career,
and his decision making has led him to that reason. That has been his reason. It's the decision.
I'm not disagreeing with the decision.
Yeah, so for the time, he would have his own section. He would have his GOAT section. Yeah.
Section.
You should go take a look at the YouTube chat.
Why? Okay. Oh no.
I kind of want to see what they're saying.
It's funny.
Oh no.
Are they?
Can someone fill me in while I'm?
So there's not a lot of people. It's just Jake saying his favorite is Brady, with his least favorite being Daniel Jones.
Get out of here.
We'll get the DJ. We'll get there. Joe Burrow. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to agree. Joe Burrow's an A quarterback. We're not doing careers, but we're going off of last year and this year. Joe Burrow, I think, was my MVP last year. I think him and Alex Smith have had two of the most miraculous comebacks ever. Tearing his ACL, being a most improved player, went to the Super Bowl, could have very well been MVP. It was a crazy story. I'm all for Joe Burrow. Go Joe Shiesty.
Who got comeback player of the year though last year?
Yes. Our comeback
think
player
it
of the year,
does
not
help.
most improved, my bad.
I think it does help that he had one of the best wide receiver cores in the league last year.
One was a rookie though. Like I
No,
know
no,
that sounds, yeah, but it's still cool though.
I'm
like,
not knocking Joe Burrow's play at all. Like he's definitely deserving of that spot. But I'm just saying, I don't think we can knock. Get the fuck out of here. No, absolutely not.
Kyle.
No.
You're gonna put Jamar Chase and T. Higgins as one of the top wide receiving groups in the league?
Yes. Are you not?
No.
I would
What?
put it as one of the top, and I'd put it top 10.
You're joking, right? You are joking, right?
I'm not.
Okay, that's a conversation for another day. We're not gonna do that right now.
So next quarterback on the list, Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr's whole career has been a B, but last year was a solid A-. We're not doing minuses. I think he deserves to be an A. He was gross last year.
I agree.
I have to disagree.
I'm not gonna agree with that.
You guys think it's a high B?
He's a high B quarterback. He's
Absolutely
not one of
not.
those.
No.
If you're gonna get an A quarterback, it's got to be like Matt
Okay.
Stafford.
He had-
Justin
How about
Herbert.
this?
Okay, hold on, Nick,
We can
hold
move
on.
it though. We can always move it later. I'm okay with putting him at B, knowing that we might move him to low A. How about that?
I am
Yes,
not,
that's fine.
No,
I'm good
I'm
with
not.
that.
I'm not okay with that at all.
Kyle,
No.
we can always move it. That's what
I
I'm
get
saying.
that. I get that we can move it, but he shouldn't have to be moved to begin with. He deserves to be an A tier.
Okay, but
I
he
know there's
almost,
other quarterbacks,
he
though.
almost choked away the last game against the Chargers.
He
for a
had
chance
no
in the playoffs.
receiving core, and he had no Darren
Whoa.
He had
Hunter
no-
Renfrow and
Hunter
Hunter
Renfrow?
Renfrow was the third string wide receiver at the start of the year. He had no Henry
He's also got
Ruggs.
Darren
He
Waller.
had no
What do you
Darren
Yeah, he also
Waller.
has
He
the
had
best
no
tight end in the
Darren
league.
Jacobs.
Tight end in the
What
league.
are you talking about? He carried that offense. He also had to deal with his his head coach getting fired in the middle of the season.
And that says more about their interim head coach than anything else, who they shouldn't have fired. I will never forgive the Raiders for taking Josh McDaniels over their interim head coach.
I agree.
We're moving on.
100%
He's in
agree,
B
but no, I am so upset about this ranking of Derek Carr.
He's a B plus or an A minus. We can move him up later, but there's
not
other
in the
better
same tier as
quarterbacks.
Joe Burrow.
What?
He's not.
I'm not
He's not
saying
in the
he's
same
as
tier as
good.
Joe Burrow.
I think he is. He absolutely is. 100% is in the same tier. as Joe Burrow.
No, Joe Burrow to me is like an A plus. He's like
Derek
a
Carr is a B.
A minus.
He's a B plus quarterback. You can win games with him. You can make the playoffs. That's what Derek Carr is.
yeah. He's a gunslinger. He's a better Carson Wentz.
Don't
Who's
even
awful.
get me started on
Joe
Carson
Burrow
Wentz.
had to literally survive in that Super Bowl game against the Rams.
That
I
has
have to
nothing
say
to do with
Kirk
his
Cousins-
quarterback.
His
ability. It has
O-line
nothing to do with his
sucks!
O-line, yes. Has
But you're
everything to do
saying the
with
same
his
thing for
O-line.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, wide
Okay.
receivers-
Derek Carr's offensive line was better than
We're
Joe
only
Burrow.
4
Yeah.
quarterbacks in. We're gonna have to chill on it. Can't take
I
too
gotta
much.
Kirk Cousins is a C.
No,
Kirk Cousins is a C. I'm
that's
already
a B
saying
tier
that.
quarterback.
I think Kirk Cousins is a B.
cannot-
quarterback.
Oh,
I think Kirk Cousins is a B. A B minus.
He's a B minus. He's a B minus B quarterback. He doesn't belong in C tier.
But you were
Dak
Dak
saying that,
Prescott also goes in that high B tier. I don't think he's as good as everybody thinks he is, but
Sam Darnold.
I think he's a
Hold
B
on.
though.
Darnold's
You
an F.
cannot
We can
leave
agree on
Daniel
that.
Jones where he is. I will not tolerate this.
No,
Okay.
he's an L.
No,
No,
He's Daniel
we have to
Jones.
go back.
Stop. He is a D,
Get
and there's
Daniel
no
Jones back in the
stop.
thing
He
wherever
is a
he
D.
goes.
Stop.
We'll save Daniel Jones for last. It's fine.
Oh, God.
All right.
C.
Justin Fields is.
I
it's
say
just-
high C plus.
I'm so sorry.
High
I'm
C plus. Low
I
B
thought that was
minus.
Kyler Murray at first. I'm sorry, I'm a little blind. It's. I know it's Justin Fields. My bad. It's
Hold
a
on.
C. He's a C.
Hold
He's a
on.
C.
Yes. Okay.
I'm
Very
sorry.
high C tier quarterback.
Yes.
Rookie has a terrible offense. I think Justin Fields can develop into an A tier quarterback, but he needs a better team around him. His team is absolutely awful.
I agree.
So right now he's a high C tier quarterback.
I apologize. I meant to put him in C, and I once I realized it was Justin Fields. I didn't mean D. Okay. Jared Goff was pretty decent last year when he had him on St. Brown. I'll give him a C. I'll give him a respectable C.
So,
Yes,
in my
I think-
opinion, he's a low C minus, high D plus, just because of the fact that like he he has the potential to grow further now, being on a team that that wants to make more plays in this upcoming season. But last season, he really showed like why he could have still been the Rams starting quarterback. But like, I do have to say that he is a low C-.
I still really like Jared Goff. I mean, he's been to a Super Bowl. I know a lot of you are going to chalk that up to Sean McVay in that offense, which is fine. But it doesn't.
I'm more Aaron Donald.
It doesn't change the fact that he's been to a Super Bowl. And I mean, with I love Dan Campbell as a head coach.
Oh yes,
Dan Campbell is the guy.
Dan Campbell's S tier.
I really think that putting Jared Goff into this Lions offense might be the biggest thing that has happened for Jared Goff in his career.
There's also no Trey Lance on this list, by the way.
I'm fine with that because Jimmy Garoppolo is still their starter.
Justin Herbert, one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Playoff team.
No, they're not. You're full of crap.
Just gonna say it. No, I'm telling
you. They're gonna go 7-10.
Our course playoff team at 9-8.
Okay.
Justin Herbert belongs in A tier. That's all we're.
Do we agree? Justin Herbert A tier because the dude's one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Kyle's got a hot take, and I need him to share it because you're sharing it.
I do have a hot take. I don't think Justin Herbert is as good as everyone else says he is.
Have you watched that kid play? I watch 17 games a year because they can't make the playoffs, and I watch every one of those games because he's my fantasy stud. Okay,
that's exactly what I mean by I don't think because he can't bring that team. If he is as good as everyone else, if you're going to put him in the same category as Joe Burrow, he should be able to lead that Chargers team to the playoffs, and he doesn't get it done.
His defense. They finally got any people on defense to help him.
Yet, they're still not going to make the playoffs this year.
Can you tell me anybody on the Chargers defense besides J.C. Jackson or Khalil Mack? Can you tell me one name?
I can't.
I can.
I'm also
not, Sebastian Joseph
I'm also
Day,
not that big of a football fan. I don't memorize every fucking roster that there is on 32 teams.
But their team was awful and had no veteran presence.
All
they picked up 2
is the offense, and Justin Herbert does not.
And Joey Bosa, I know. I didn't think.
No, I disagree.
Point being, Justin Herbert's A tier.
I know.
All right, Jalen Hurts.
So I'm not even gonna.
I'm gonna say this: Jalen Hurts C tier.
Yes.
I think he's low B tier.
I would say C tier. In my opinion,
C tier.
I have him high C tier, close to low B.
He's not.
By the way,
Dak Prescott. So yeah.
I want it to be a point that I swear to God, if Carson Wentz is above Jalen Hurts, I will literally ruin all of you.
Because I have him in the same tier.
That's fine. He is below. No, he's below.
No, he's above.
He's below.
He's above him.
No, he's
Lamar
not.
Jackson. A tier.
B.
B.
Quarterback.
B.
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 Yep.
He relies way too much on the run game than his own arm ability. I really don't see him.
End the podcast. These men need to go to a penitentiary. This podcast is over.
When was the last time he led the team?
Let Andrew finish.
When was the last time he led them to the playoffs? Oh wait, that was Joe Flacco who led them to the playoffs, and Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago. Last year he didn't get to the playoffs.
Okay, to play devil's advocate there. The entire team was hurt last year, Andrew, to play devil's advocate there.
And until Lamar Jackson
I do understand that, but he relied way too much on the run game. Where was his quarterback skills? Overthrowing Marquise Brown on an open route? He had him wide open.
Lamar Jackson literally had Marquise Brown looking like a 1,000-yard top 15 receiver. I don't want to hear that nonsense.
I'm sorry. I just don't see Lamar Jackson as an A-tier quarterback right now.
I'm dreaming.
This is embodying my entire physical.
I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming. I can't believe what I'm dreaming right now. Oh my God.
Nick,
Justin. No. It's 2-2. Justin, A or B?
Reminder that this is the best running quarterback in NFL history.
Jake, you can't cheat. Justin, A or B?
Looking at who's on A right now, no, it's okay. I will say, like, we shouldn't put too much on A. We need to make sure everything fits, and there should be at least some people in each category. So I was also going to put Mac Jones at B, just because of the one season. I don't want to favor the Patriots.
That's fine. What about Lamar Jackson, though, Justin?
Yeah, I know. I was trying to like compare to
okay.
quarterback I know a little more about. I will actually say B.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
It's a group decision, Jake. We have to make. And I didn't mean to tell you to shut up, but it's a group decision.
It's fine.
You can't be biased.
I will say he is a high B tier, low A tier in my opinion.
I
That still gives you.
I agree.
Are we
Alright,
okay with
G-
Are we okay with Sam Darnold being an F because he's not even gonna win his own job?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He can make him win that job. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
I think Sam Darnold would beat Daniel Jones for a job in the Giants. I think that's simple.
No, we wouldn't. Stop.
I really do.
I
No.
agree.
Okay,
No.
so we're going to replace Jimmy Garoppolo with Trey Lance because that is actually their starter. So Jimmy Garoppolo, in my mind, would probably be like a B tier or a C tier, but Trey Lance.
C.
C tier. He's right with
C.
Justin Fields in my mind.
He hasn't even. You see.
Low.
I would put him below
ID.
Jared Goff
Actually, I think
yeah.
that's fair. Below Jared Goff, I actually agree.
until he gets a full season to prove himself. I think that's where he should stay. All it is all hype right now.
I think Mac Jones is better than Kirk Cousins,
Full
but I
Dak,
don't.
He's better than Dak.
Oh, thank you. Is he better?
You're
He's better than Derek Carr. He's actually
Nope.
better. He's actually better than all these people, honestly.
Stop it. He's not better than Dak.
I'm fine with that.
Sorry.
I'm okay. I'd put him on either side of Dak. I think they're very comparable right now. I think they're very comparable.
I don't know if I agree with him being better than Dak Prescott right now, but showing flashes and could possibly have a better season than Dak Prescott.
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, so here's the thing about Trevor Lawrence. He could be in like 4 years, like here. Like realistically, he could be here. Right now, he's probably here. He didn't play that good.
I'd say he's at the same point as Justin Fields right now.
I agree.
I think he's a little higher than Justin Fields. I would put him.
Oh, I don't know. He's definitely not higher than Jalen though.
He's not better than Jalen Hurts.
Jalen relies too much on the run. He literally can't even throw the ball. He literally runs too much.
Literally struggles pushing the ball 20 yards down the field. I don't want to hear that same argument, Andrew. Don't even try me.
Andrew, I was just messing with you, but that is the same argument. So for that reason, Trevor Lawrence.
I have a better argument for why Trevor Lawrence deserves to be in B tier right now.
Go ahead.
So if you actually watched Trevor Lawrence play last year,
I did.
I don't know who would watch Jacksonville.
Wrong for Trevor Lawrence was his receivers dropping passes and him having pressure in his face 24/7. It would be comparable to you're trying to tell me that Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence have the same amount of skill and are comparable here, and I just don't think that's true. That's what I see when I look at this chart.
But here's the thing: we're not looking at ceiling. We're looking at right now based on last year.
I'm not done. The Jaguars have upgraded their wide receiver core, and they've upgraded their offensive line in the offseason.
But you can say the same thing about the Eagles.
I can't say that they've upgraded their offensive line at all. I can say that they added A.J. Brown, and that's wonderful, but Jalen Hurts struggles to push the ball 20 yards down the field where Trevor Lawrence can throw a 60-yard bomb without even thinking about it. So,
I wouldn't put him next to Kirk Cousins, though. Like, that's my issue.
You don't want to put him next to Kirk Cousins? That's your issue?
Not after 1 year of, 2-13 or 2-15? Like, didn't he, like, he was still learning.
Head coach.
He was still learning how to play, though, so next year he could be an A tier for all we know. But right now, I'm
going to go on record and say I disagree with it. He should be in B tier.
Low B tier, below Kirk Cousins.
Hey, can we put this to a vote? I think we need to put it to a vote.
He should be in B tier with Mac Jones.
I'm pretty sure three of us agreed it was C.
That's
Justin,
fine.
where are you?
I'm definitely on a higher C. I
just don't see him higher than Jalen Hurts.
Andrew, let Justin finish. Hold on.
I basically was finished up, so don't worry. I was just saying he definitely is a higher C, but I wouldn't call him at like a B tier level.
Okay, so we can all agree with this. We're doing this as a group so we get a formulated opinion, not because everyone's going to love every pick of this. I'm going to hate where you guys want Carson Wentz, but that doesn't change the thing.
No, Nick, it's fine. I just have to. I genuinely feel it in my body that I have to go on record.
Drew likes F, right?
That's an F tier.
Yes.
I think Darnold is better. Hold on.
I mean, what, like a D?
Wait. Before you put Mahomes,
like a D or an
Darnold
F?
is better than
I'm fine with that. I'm fine. Like a D or an F. I don't know. I'm just kidding. He's probably. Wait, let me look. Let me look real quick. Is he the other S tier?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah, I don't know who else I'd put S tier.
Marcus, put him at a D.
I'll be honest. Okay, we're looking at. Nah, I'll leave it like that. I like that. It's very close. I could interchange all three of them, and the same team would win the Super Bowl. Like if you had the best team in the league, and you put each of those three quarterbacks, so they're all winning the Super Bowl. So
that's facts.
I like.
Marcus Mariota, D, 100% a D. He still has a chance to prove himself.
Yeah, I agree. He could be better.
I could honestly see him as a C. The problem is I don't think he's quite as equal as Jared Goff.
High D,
Trey Lance.
Low C.
I could see him as truthfully a B by the end of the season, but he has to play like that, and I don't know if he can. So
not with that team.
Not with that team. Davis Mills, Jake's favorite Texan.
D.
Low C tier.
D. He's not.
Justin, what do you think?
He's not better than Mariota.
Justin, high D or low C?
What was the name again?
Davis Mills, Houston Texans quarterback, Brandon Cook's favorite white man.
Oh, D.
Is that 3 Ds before I even have to do it?
I think it was 4 Ds to a C.
I hadn't decided yet, so I was gonna see if I decided. So we'll put him here though. I don't know. He had some good passes last year. I believed in him a bit. I watched Brandon Cook, so I saw a bunch of games.
Kyler Murray, B tier.
Okay. Kyler Murray's attitude, F tier. Kyler Murray's skill attributes as a quarterback, probably a B.
I would put him at the same
below
place.
Lamar Jackson.
I was gonna say right around the same place as Lamar. So if we're putting Lamar in B, which I think he should be, then Kyler should be after Lamar there.
I'm fine with that.
I think he's even. I honestly believe he's even lower than Derek Carr. But I understand that you guys wouldn't necessarily feel that way. But
I'm with you.
I honestly would even put Kyler below Derek Carr.
I would.
Mm-hmm.
I would put him below Lamar Jackson, but where he is fine.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I think these three guys in different ways are successful, and I think it's similar to up here. It's kind of interchangeable. Any of them could be B1, B2, B3, any of them. So Lamar Jackson, when he's healthy, is probably the best of these three, in my opinion, when he's fully healthy. With a very close second, Derek Carr. But, I mean, if Kyler Murray didn't have D-Hop, I don't know how good he is. So I'll put him here.
But now he has Marquise Brown. Yes, because that made a huge difference for Lamar Jackson, who's a better quarterback. So. Yeah.
I think this is pretty obvious. I think it's there. Shut up,
Carr. Yeah, he's an A tier.
Yeah, he's the highest of the A tier.
He's the highest A tier. I don't think he deserved MVP last year. However, Aaron Rodgers is still one of the most remarkable quarterbacks in the league every year, and the dude still does it. I don't care how bad his attitude is on the field. He is fun to watch. He has a fun personality to watch when he plays golf and stuff. He's still one of the most talented quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, for me, it's the lack of postseason success and the loss of Devontae Adams that keeps him out of S tier. Honestly,
that's tough.
Honestly, in all seriousness, I know I was just joking around about putting him in F tier, but in all seriousness, I do think Joe Burrow is better than him, so I don't think he should be the best of A tier.
I wouldn't put Joe Burrow above Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers lost his best weapon this year. He lost his best weapon.
We're not judging his weapons. We're judging him as a quarterback.
Yeah, but aren't we judging by how good the quarterback themselves will be based on the team around him?
We're kind of judging
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Here's the thing. I've seen Aaron Rodgers throw some of the most immaculate passes in my whole life.
Yes, I agree.
And he still does it. He did it last year.
But if I'm going to take quarterbacks based on
Andrew's frustrated.
What we're looking at, I would take Joe Burrow based on the team that he has around him and Joe Burrow's talent versus Aaron Rodgers' team around him and talent. I think if Aaron Rodgers is on the Bengals with that wide receiver core, with that improved offensive line, with that running back team, then yes, Aaron Rodgers is better than Joe Burrow. But as of right now,
he'd be S tier. He might be the best quarterback on the list. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yes.
I'm just gonna keep my mouth quiet. I can't argue with Kyle. No. I'm just not.
Andrew, come at me. Say your opinion. Let's go.
Come on.
This is a football analyst episode. Go for it.
we're basing this only off the 21-22 season, right?
Essentially, yeah.
And the future. Okay. I thought we were also looking at and what they're going to
It's kind of like where they are now. Like where they are now.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers, yes, he has all his accolades from last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he had the weapon around him, but I just don't see him being lower than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, yes, he had a great team last season. He had everything for him going into it. He had a miraculous run into the playoffs. By God, somehow he managed to survive the playoffs and get into the Super Bowl. But you can't take away Aaron Rodgers and his ability to be decisive on the field. Yes, he has greater arm strength than Joe Burrow. He has everything he needs. Yes, he lost his weapons this offseason, but he still has potential to do something great in Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't even know if they make the playoffs this year. It's gonna be tough unless they really get.
It's gonna be tough, but I mean that's like saying the same thing for Brady when we looked at our receiving core in the past. Like, are we ever gonna make it to the playoffs?
It's a little different. I'll be honest.
Tom Brady is not.
Matt LaFleur is a great head coach over there in Green Bay.
I
will say that.
No, but also the NFC.
I don't think that's disagreement. Yeah.
The NFC is weak, so I see them going 12-5. Like, what team is going to be better than the Packers in the AFC North? Maybe the Vikings, but across
that's what I've heard. The Vikings. I heard the Vikings are going to go 13-4 next year.
Conference, it's Tampa Bay, it's the Rams, it's the Packers, and then the dark horse Vikings.
Dark horse Eagles.
Yeah. Eagles are going to slap this year. Eagles are going 11-6, 100%.
Yeah. I'd say 12.
They're gonna sweep their division. They might lose one to the Cowboys, but I think they'll sweep their division.
I think the Commanders will give them a little bit.
I think we agree that Aaron Rodgers is A+, S-. Like he's right there. Like if we included more an S, then he would be there. But
yeah, we're capping it at 3.
We're capping it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my issue. In my mind, Matt Ryan has always been a B+ quarterback. But he's kind of like Kirk Cousins right now. Yeah. Like he's kind of like right next to Kirk Cousins.
He's the better Kirk Cousins. Let's just put it there.
I don't think he's better than Dak or Mac right now.
No, he's the better Kirk Cousins, but he's not as good as.
Well, okay, Dak. Tell me your opinion. What do you think?
Carr,
why don't
Tyler?
I think Kirk Cousins is better than Matt Ryan right now.
I think that's fair.
I think Kirk Cousins is more accurate, has a stronger arm, and has better weapons. I think for the next upcoming year, Kirk Cousins is way better. I would actually drop Matt Ryan into the high C tier category.
I was just gonna say, Jake. I was just about to say that.
I think Matt Ryan is a better quarterback for the Colts. On most other teams, I'm not so sure I'm not taking Carson Wentz over Matt Ryan.
Oh my God!
Come on,
Wentz. He is awful.
No.
Okay, here's the thing. I really wish there was something between this because I feel like he's a little bit worse than Kirk Cousins, but better than Trevor Lawrence. But I'm okay with this. I do think he'll be better Colts than Carson Wentz ever was. So
I think
he's dealing with the Colts. I think Matt Ryan could literally throw 16 touchdowns to 4 picks over the course of the year, and they'll make the playoffs because that's how good the rest of the team is. I just don't see him being the same quarterback, especially in a more run-heavy offense. Like for the Colts, I think he fits and it's an upgrade, but at the same time, I don't think he's on the same level as the Kirk Cousins who are throwing 32 touchdown passes a year right now. That's really that was my problem with it.
Hey, Kirk Cousins is a gunslinger. Matt Ryan is not. Okay.
Fact.
Matt Stafford, I think he goes right up here.
Yep.
I think that's fine. Yep. Matt Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 quarterback. I would give him the top 7 at this point. Yeah.
I don't even
Ryan
know.
Tannehill, another one of those dudes that I would put in low B, high C tier.
See, I think he's about the same. I think he fits perfectly in between Matt Ryan and Trevor Lawrence, to be honest.
The first 6 weeks of last year when he had Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill was MVP candidate. And then he lost Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And therefore he loses that tier.
Andrew, any problems with that?
I don't see any problems with that. I think Tannehill and the Titans relied way too much on Derrick Henry.
Will continue to rely way too much on Derrick Henry. Mitch Trubisky, D tier.
Workhorse.
Yeah.
I think he's a high C tier in his best, but like D tier.
Not right now though. Honestly, I don't even know if he wins that.
He was a backup all last season.
That's
He
exactly
barely touched the field.
But he was an okay Bears quarterback. I mean, it's the Bears.
Yeah, if we were thinking about his Bears time, like he did lead them to the playoffs once, and then it all fell apart.
From what I understand, he learned a lot from Josh Allen last year. I actually I think if he's playing at his best, he can find his way into that B tier this year with all the weapons that the Steelers have, but right now he's a D tier.
Is he even a starter right now?
As of right now, yes, he is the starter.
Do we skip Tua? I'm not ready to do Tua. I need to think more.
That's fine.
Sure.
Deshaun, I put an F for obvious reasons, not because of his football career, but because he's an awful person. And I don't want any fight on that.
With that, and also he didn't even touch the field. He barely touched the field last year.
He didn't touch the field
Exactly.
last year.
He didn't touch the field last year. He's awful. He was so bad he had 0 snaps and a lot more cases. So he deserves to be down there.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Oh my god.
In my mind, Carson. Okay, I know you guys do. I think Carson Wentz is like here.
I think that's very high.
We're gonna be all over the place on this one. Austin was here. He would agree with me.
He's on the same par as Trubisky. So wherever you put Trubisky, you have to put Carson Wentz.
I don't agree with that. I think he's better than that. I think he's more around Jared Goff than he is Mitch Trubisky. But and this isn't 5 years ago. This is right now. So okay. So without any comments, you can talk about a little bit. Jake, where would you put him? Because I want to average this out.
Okay, I'm putting him above Matt Ryan.
Okay, so C+.
Last year, B-. I wowould put him in that B-, C+ tier. Yeah, that's fine. Kyle. Only because last year he wasn't bad. Everybody overreacts to one bad game against the Jaguars. He had 27 touchdowns and 7 picks, and in one game he had 3. So if you want to count the rest of the games that he played, he was a 26 touchdown to 4 interception quarterback. That's very, very good. That's really all I have to say about it.
Okay. My only counterpoint to that is that the GM of the Colts literally said that the Carson Wentz experience was a mistake. That is awful. I've never heard a GM say that about a player in my life. I am 24 years old. I've never heard a GM or a coach say, yeah, signing them was a mistake.
I don't know. I think with better weapons,
that trade was the worst trade idea for them.
Okay, Andrew, where would you place him?
I do have to say that he was down by Jared Goff, and he was better than Trey Lance, if that's where we're having Trey Lance, but he was a bit better than Trubisky, so that's where I would put him, on the low C tier, high D tier.
Okay, Justin, thoughts?
Unless the general manager gets fired, he is definitely with Jared Goff.
So, Jake, I hate to say you're pretty much overruled. It would probably go right in front of Jared Goff, would be the average, or maybe a
put him behind it. I don't agree with it. It's fine. If everybody else thinks he's there, that's fine.
As long as he's underneath Jalen Hurts, because I still think he's
now, Jake, if
we were to do this again next year, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
If we were to do this again next year, and he somehow proves everybody wrong on the Commanders, sorry, football teams. Sense now.
It's still different.
On the Commanders, and he proves to have a better season than he had with the Colts, then maybe I will have him up near high C, low B.
I think it's a foregone conclusion he has a better season, but that's just me.
I'm just saying, he may not.
He does have a better team on the Commanders, though. I think the Commanders roster is better than... Yeah, Justin, go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if the Colts don't do good and it was like same coach and they end up needing to do something with it, then it could definitely be more coach-led failure than player-based, because there are times in the past where the coaches just don't lead their team right.
I mean, Matt Ryan might win that division. Matt Ryan might win that division next year. I said might.
That's a big
who is going to beat them?
Henry is hurt, that is an absolute possibility.
I don't fully
the
disagree
Titans?
with you, but I think the Titans are better in that division.
It depends on Derrick Henry. And honestly, they lost AJ Brown. And I know they drafted a kid, but they lost AJ Brown.
They still have Robert Woods, who I know is not.
And Robert Woods is not AJ Brown.
I know. There's a big difference, a huge difference, but I'm saying
Julio hasn't even re-signed yet, has he?
No,
They just have Robert Woods right now. That's all they have.
And that rookie, who's
going
going
to be good.
And I think Robert Woods will have 1,000 yards. The rookie will probably have 700, 750. I don't know about that.
It's a different conversation for a different time.
Exactly. Okay. I don't want to do Tua yet. Russell Wilson, a quarterback. I'll put him right there.
Okay.
Not a C quarterback.
I think he's about the same as Lamar Jackson, to be honest. So I think he should be. So I think they're about the same. So I'm not saying I disagree with him going in A because I do think he's better than Lamar. But
I think he's a better leader than Lamar,
yes,
and that's not Lamar's fault.
No,
Lamar is still younger, and Russell has always been a leader.
I agree.
Anyone disagree with that? It seems like everyone's in agreement.
I do, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because it's fine. It's a very slight tweak. It's not.
Would you put him at B+ essentially?
Yeah, I don't think he belongs to the Matt Staffords and the Justin Herberts of the world.
I agree, Jake. I agree.
If we were talking about his 2012 career, yes, he would be up there. But right now,
okay, well that's three people, so I'm just gonna move it down because that's three. Okay, that's fair. But he's the highest B-tier quarterback for sure.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
I can give you that.
Can we just do this?
Well,
I could see him going to C-, to be honest.
I could see him.
I could see him going to C-.
I see him.
I think he's better than Jared Goff. I mean, it's Jameis Winston.
He is.
Jake, what do you
That's
think?
a W.
That's a W. Wait, sorry. I gotta do this. That's a W.
Let me
Jake, where would you put him, Jake?
That's a W.
Let me pull this up real quick. So,
oh no.
Before Jameis Winston got hurt last year, the Saints were, I think they had lost like 2 games. I think they were 5-2 or some crap like that, right?
Yes.
And then the wheels fell off. Jameis Winston was a 14 touchdown to 3 interception quarterback. Him this low is just absolutely insane to me. Which is fine if you want to talk about, the 30 for 30 season a few years ago with the Bucks.
He was hurt last year though, so it's hard to judge.
Where did you have him though?
End up in mid B tier, and I would put him in that low B tier. But if that's where you guys want to place him, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm higher on Jameis than everybody here, I think.
I'll agree with you there. I will say he was better than Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Tannehill, and Ryan when he was on the field. I will say that.
I'd put him C+.
I don't know.
He was hurt half the year.
I don't put him better than
Matt Ryan.
I do.
Jameis in the games he played last year was better than Matt Ryan. He really was.
But if we're basing it off of what they're doing this year, Matt Ryan, I think, will be better than him.
Well, we're talking about.
I don't know.
Only because is Michael Thomas a definite return yet?
Yes.
Yes.
He is. Okay, never mind. But I know Alvin Kamara is looking at a 4 to 6 game suspension right now.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Taking into account that they don't have Sean Payton, I think it's fine. Right where it is.
Yes.
Okay. I'm outvoted.
But I agree with you, Kyle. I think the Colts will succeed more than the Saints next year.
Yes.
I don't think that Matt Ryan will look like a better quarterback because he has Jonathan Taylor than Jameis Winston will look.
We will come back to this next year. I think we need to come back to this next year then.
I'm not disagreeing, but I am thinking that Matt Ryan and Ryan Tannehill are going to have very similar seasons. And Nick, no.
So Zach Wilson's a D?
No. Zach Wilson needs to be an S tier, and I will not accept any other arguments.
Tier.
No, Zach Wilson is a dog, and there is no disagreement. Yes.
Zach Wilson needs his own category.
He needs his own category.
Dog. D-A-W-G.
Wait, I messed this up, wasn't it?
There's no argument here.
But if we're actually based on his performance, it's probably around a D or a C, but that's fine. He'd be better than Trey Lance.
I say he's
put him back
Trey
in the
Lance.
low C tier. Just put him back in the low C tier.
He's about Trey Lance, yeah.
We got the meme. It's fine. Get rid of it. That's absolutely hilarious.
Hold on. No. Before we do Tua, Daniel Jones is not enough. I'm sorry. No, he is not enough.
He's not even gonna have a job next year.
He's D-. No, come on, stop.
You actually think he's gonna be a starting quarterback?
This
is such a fat draft for quarterbacks. I will bet you I'll bet you Faye's engagement ring that he's not the starting quarterback. The start of next season.
Are you talking this year? The one coming up?
No, the start of next season.
I don't give a shit about next year. We're talking about
he wasn't want to take it. He's not confident.
No, I'm not talking about next year. I'm talking about this year. First off, never bet your fiance's engagement.
The Giants are taking for CJ Stroud.
I'm so telling her you did that.
I don't care. I'm 100% confident.
I'm saying it right now, since Nick has already brought it up. The Giants are tanking for CJ Stroud. They're not going for Bryce Young. They're going for CJ Stroud.
This category is subject for people who will not be starting next year by the end of the year, who will not be starting by the end of the year, and for those who have cases.
I'm sorry, Tyrod Taylor's going to beat him out. Tyrod Taylor's going to beat.
No, he will not.
Tyrod Taylor's getting his chance, boys. He's getting his chance.
He's making his comeback season. Tyrod Taylor is coming back, and he's going to replace Daniel Jones.
Pull up the Facebook chat receipts. Kyle said that Tyrod Taylor would beat him out.
I said he could beat him out, not will beat him out.
It is possible. It will happen.
But we're not talking about ifs, shits, and giggles. We're talking about what is fucking happening. Daniel Jones is not.
He's gonna lose his job by the end of training camp.
Is losing his starting job position.
I can't wait till Tyrod Taylor brings the Giants to 6 wins. Okay.
Bye, Kyle.
So now that we're done arguing, Tua. Right, I'll put him out of respect right with Mac.
Nope. I will put him up behind Mac.
I
would put him behind Dak, honestly.
Okay.
In my opinion, because Dak is a better quarterback.
He is right there. Like he's there.
He is there.
He still could be better. He might be awful next year. Is Kyle okay? Did we really rage him out?
I think Kyle's done. I think Kyle quit.
Okay, so
did anybody see Riley's comment in the chat? It says Kyle, calm down.
She's in the other room.
Just probably talking to him.
I think this is no, he's fine. I think it's a pretty good list. Thoughts?
My thoughts on Tua real quick, just very quickly.
Yes,
I
please.
do want to hear your opinions.
So I actually think we have him placed in the right tier. I would put him the lowest of the B tier quarterbacks, but it's fine if you want to put him above Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins.
I like Kirk Cousins too, so I'm okay with that.
Tua's potential this year, it's make or break. If he plays like a D tier quarterback, it's over. But there's potential that Tua plays like an A tier quarterback with the weapons around him. So the B tier stuff is fine. I think he can literally throw slants to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle all day and be absolutely fine. He'll get 4,000 yards just throwing screen passes. But
it's okay.
Genuinely, Tua with a new offensive-minded head coach, even though they never should have gotten rid of Brian Flores, going to say that right now. But a coach who actually believes in Tua can do wonders for Tua.
Yes,
I think
and Tyreek Hill's going to help.
Tyreek Hill's going to help. Tua, I could absolutely see throwing for 4,200 yards and 32 touchdowns this year, and that's not out of the ordinary. I would not say that's out of the realm of possibility.
I think Mac's gonna be close to him too.
I will say, since I have said this in the past, that they are building the Miami Dolphins offense to look like an Alabama college offense that Tua ran on those deep threatened receivers that he has. I really think that's what they are doing right now. And this is the make or break season for Tua right now. He has to play if he wants to be still starter because he's got a rookie in Bryce Young looking to possibly replace him if he doesn't.
That's a good take, Andrew. He could easily get taken over because they have first-round picks. Like
they have a lot of first-round picks.
They could easily replace him if he doesn't do something this year. And I'm sure Tyreek would love to bring in another young quarterback to, bring up.
Bryce Young in that system right now. If Tua does not do well in this system, Bryce Young would thrive in this system right now. You looked at any of you watched him play in college, and how much this offense will look like what Bryce Young just played. This is what Tua needs to be doing right now if he wants to stay starter.
Also, I mean, Tyreek Hill did say that Tua is one of probably the more accurate of the two, and I think that's Tua's real strength is that he's quick with decisions. When he's confident, he's quick and he's accurate.
Yes,
and that's
I agree.
What makes him good.
I completely agree.
For as long as he has been.
Well, this list looks so good. It's so clean. I mean, if we want to, can we like move like Jameis up to like B- or something? So it's like
perfect. I can, yeah. I already told you that's where it should be. So yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Just so it looks like super clean, That's pretty good. I'll take that.
Clean, boys.
I moved Daniel Jones up to D-. So
I noticed.
He should be the top of the D tier. He should be the top of the D tier. Put him all the way up.
You think he's better than Mitch Trubisky?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I mean, he still has a job. I guess Mitch Trubisky does
But I do have to say, if this offseason during training camps do not go well in the preseason, and Tyrod Taylor takes over, I think this is the end of the Daniel Jones era in New York.
Well, that's my problem with Daniel Jones right now is that he could play like a B tier quarterback or an F tier quarterback, and I'm not sure which one it's gonna be yet.
Unfortunately, it feels like more of an F.
It's onto the same situation like it is for Tua. This is his last chance. If he doesn't reach 500 with the new and improved team, he's done.
I don't think the Giants are a 500 team, and it's not Daniel
with
Jones.
Tyrod Taylor though, they might be though, because that dude, I don't know what Tyrod Taylor does, but for some reason, he wins until he gets stabbed by a doctor.
With the new coaching, Jake, this team can be 500 as long as they play like.
Yeah, with Tyrod Taylor.
But honestly, Tyrod Taylor was a 500 quarterback with the Texans. I can't before he got hurt last year, the Texans were like 2-3.
And what makes it worse is that 2 years ago he was 2-0 with the Chargers.
And he got stabbed. 1-0.
Yeah, and he won that game convincingly. He got stabbed by a doctor. Thank you, by the way, doctor. I appreciate you letting Justin Herbert out of his shell nice and early. Thank you. Good fantasy football pick. Thank you very much. Point being, Tyrod Taylor has always done, even with the Browns, Tyrod Taylor wasn't awful.
He wasn't awful with the Bills either.
He's a better Marcus Mariota. I'm dead serious. I would have him over Marcus Mariota, like Tyrod Taylor. I would have him. Yeah. I'd probably have him around. I don't know. You might dead ass have him
honestly.
I might have him towards just below Jared Goff or Carson Wentz. I'd have him right there. I think Tyrod Taylor and Kyle, you should take this as a compliment, okay? We like one of your quarterbacks. It's just not the one you want us to like.
I really hope that he gets to prove you all wrong. I really hope so.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a screenshot of this, by the way, so that I can send it in our group chat.
Send it to me. I want to post this to our Twitter.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Download image.
I don't know how much more I can defend him, to be honest.
Okay, I will send that to you afterwards.
You can't defend Daniel Jones.
I'll send it to you after the podcast.
He's on his last string.
Okay, so I think we're gonna save our MLB midseason check-in for next week because I want to do another quick tier list, and then we're gonna do podcast polls, and we're gonna do some quick tier lists.
While you're looking for a new one, can I just do a quick hockey update?
Please go ahead. Yes, please.
So I have one good news and one pretty bad news. Good news, well, not really good news, I guess. It's average news. But Jeff Petrie got traded to the Penguins, which means I can no longer like him as a player, which sucks. Jeff Petrie is actually a really good player was a good player for the Canadiens. But since he plays for the worst team in National Hockey League, I can no longer like him. Nick, do you want me to continue, or what are we doing?
Yes, if you would like to talk about what you want to talk about. Jake, yes. We decided we're skipping the MLB season check-in for next week. And we're going to quickly do a running back tiers. We're going to do wide receivers next week, I think. And then we're going to quickly do running back. Yes, quickly, though. We're not going to make it take that long.
God, no.
And then,
but really quick.
Yeah,
I feel like what I need to say deserves more time, Nick, to be honest. I feel like we can't rush it. So maybe we should save it for another time. So I feel like it can't be rushed, to be honest.
We can start next week with it if you'd like. Yeah. So maybe we'll know more by then too. Maybe.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we do. Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay.
All right. Rex Burkhead?
Yeah, and Rex Burkhead, fucking S tier. That dude, gross. No, we're gonna make this quick. C tier, B tier.
It's just Nick doing it on his own.
Yeah, you can agree.
That's what
Is this
saying.
is this
That's Jonathan.
No, it's not Jonathan Taylor. This is
No,
Jonathan.
it's not. That is
It's
Yes.
looks like
something Mac.
Marlon Mack.
Marlon Mack.
Marlon Mack.
D tier.
Yep.
A tier.
A
Could be
tier,
S.
yep.
B tier.
Dylan?
C tier. Oh, B tier.
It's
Okay.
Swifty.
Dylan. I would take Dylan.
Swifty.
High B tier.
B,
Oh.
Yep, I B
B
tier.
plus.
Okay.
Yep.
A.
Is that
I
David
can't tell who that
Montgomery?
is.
That's
David Montgomery is gross.
B plus. I say he's the same as Swift.
Yep.
Same
he's
level as
def-
Swift.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's not an A tier.
Dalvin Cook A.
I mean,
S.
Oh.
S.
Okay.
Jake
Dalvin Cook
thoughts?
is
S.
top 3 running back in the league. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Him. Actually, Nick Chubb might be up there, but Derrick Henry has to be in the S tier.
I mean,
too,
we
so
can
I'm not
adjust that
sure.
though, because there's gonna be a lot of
We'll see
these.
when we adjust it.
Yep.
Damian Harris is a high B tier. Yes, absolutely. Most
C.
underrated back in the league right now. Myles Gaskin deserves a C. Yep.
Okay, I want to put Leonard Fournette at B, but I don't know.
C plus.
Yes, that's fine. My
C
only
plus.
concern is that he came in at 260 pounds to training camp.
B plus, fat
a-
man.
He's the best.
Is this
Big man.
who is this? I don't know who this is. I can't think
Oh,
of his
that's
name.
Chase Edmonds.
No, down
No.
here. Chase Evans is right here.
It's a red jersey. It's
Is it the guy, the rookie Elijah Mitchell? I thought.
Oh,
I
might
think
be.
so. That looks like it because
Or
Trey
is this
Sermon's on
Elijah
the list.
Mitchell? Oh wait,
No,
this is what's his name from Arizona?
James
Elijah
Conner.
Mitchell's in.
No,
yes.
that's Trey Mitchell. That's Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon's on there as well. James Conner's already on there.
Okay.
This is Najee Harris.
Yeah,
He's
A.
back.
That's an A.
S.
Chubb S. That
J.K.
is.
Dobbins.
I go high B.
I'd say B minus, to be honest.
I
I mean,
Mid B.
I put him a little bit behind Clyde. Yeah.
Mixon A.
A. Kareem's an A. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Kareem Hunt's an
James-
A&1/2.
I don't
James
think he's
Robinson
better
is
than
a
Damian Harris.
Production doesn't match that.
What?
Nah, I don't think he's better than Damian Harris right now.
You don't think Kareem Hunt's gross
No.
on the Browns?
Like Jake just said, production doesn't match it.
Okay. Okay, James Robinson should be an A. But he,
Production
I'll do
doesn't
that.
match it.
Eckler
That's bad.
A.
Hey.
That's Josh Jacobs A.
actually doesn't match that.
To be honest, I agree, Nick. B plus to be with Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Rashad Penny?
That's
Yes.
Rashad Penny D.
No, C.
James-
C.
Shad Penny is at least a C tier back. His
Yeah.
last 5 weeks last year were absolutely god tier.
I'd put him probably around there, around
Yeah.
like Miles Gaskin, Devin
Higher than Miles
Singletary.
Gaskin.
Fine.
James Conner C.
Yeah.
Really?
This is
Cam
this is a hot
Akers
take.
D.
I'm
Oh, okay.
I will fight my. Cam Akers was so good all of last year until he got hurt with like 2 weeks left. He was a low A tier quarterback. Jake doesn't agree. I don't think
I
Kyle does
don't.
either.
I would put him in the mid B tier.
Yeah.
This
I don't-
is
because here's my thing. Cam Akers doesn't have any elite traits, and he's slow. He's a product of his system, and that's fine. But I can't put him in A tier with the rest of these dudes who are absolutely incredible. That's the only thing.
Okay, fair enough. Who is this? Is this Elijah Mitchell?
that's Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell's like a high B, low A. Like that dude is really good. Like really, really good. Unless somebody's thinking the other way.
Yeah, put him up there. There's a lot of B tier backs in the league. They're rotational. It's
That's
fine.
fair. Saquon
B.
could be an S, but is a
Could
B.
be, but he's not. He's a B right now.
Yes, he's
I'd
a B
say-
back right now.
Hey,
I
yo,
agree,
Tony
yes.
Pollard could be an A, but
He
he's
could
like
be an S. He could be an S actually.
Tony Pollard.
Yeah. He could be.
He's DeAndre Swift essentially.
Yeah. I think he could be an S too. to be
I
honest.
would low key put Miles
No.
Sanders like an A
Miles
minus.
Sanders is an A tier back.
A
You're
minus.
not-
This
you're
is
not gonna hear an
Boston
argument.
Scott. I put Boston Scott
D.
down here. So
Yes.
That's a B tier back.
Javonte. B. Javonte.
he
could
could he could be an
B
A
plus.
this year.
He
Honestly,
could
he could be
yeah,
an
but I
A
think
this
right now
year.
he's a B plus. I think he's about the same as Josh. I can't put McCaffrey in
Not
S
with the
tier.
injury history. Yeah, put him.
No,
down
I
below
agree.
that.
Yeah, I think if he could be healthy, he's the best running back.
There's gonna be more than 3 S tiers. There has to be.
Well, yeah, you have to put Derrick Henry in S tier.
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing else to do.
Yes.
Cordero Patterson is a
C.
high C, low B.
Yeah, fine. I'll put him with 260.
I don't think Kamara's
Mara.
an A tier back.
This
not
is
an S tier
Carr.
back.
This is
Chris
Carson
Carson.
Edwards. Chris Carson.
Chris Carson.
He's like a. He's
he
much
may
better
never
shot
play
than him.
again.
Oh, for that we have to put him up here then, just for respect.
No.
You know?
Put him in the C tier. He may never play again.
He's better than Rashad Penny.
But he's not better than Leonard Fournette.
Alvin's like up
Yeah.
here.
I think Joe Mixon's.
I don't know who
Oh,
that
I agree.
is.
I agree.
That is Trey Sermon that you just put in.
Sure, D.
This is Antonio Gibson.
Oh, hey, best hey, trading value wise, S tier baby, 100% last year. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was such a stupid trade. I should have never did.
He's not as good as he's not as good as James Robinson.
He's high C, but he's low B.
Honestly, no.
High-
Wait a second. He's better. He's as good as James Robinson.
Oh, he is not.
Hold on a minute. Zeke deserves to be neck to neck with Tony Pollard.
Oh yeah, fair. I'm with it. But Tony Pollard's better.
Literally neck to neck.
Jake, where are you on Antonio Gibson?
I'll put him right next
Antonio
to him.
Gibson, I mean, he's fine where he is in the low B tier.
Okay.
Yes.
That's where I want. I thought that's where he should be. Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think there are a lot of F tier backs in the league anyway, so this chart's probably fine.
I mean, if you were
I
to
wouldn't agree with-
rank all the 4th string running backs amongst it, yeah, they'd probably be about
I
it.
would.
I'll put Antonio Gibson. I'll put him in below B. Like he started to do better at the end of last year, but like
Yeah.
I don't
He
agree
did
with
have
the
a rough
entire list.
start.
I don't expect to, but that's really where it's at.
you don't agree with what? You don't agree with who is Jake?
I just said I wouldn't agree with the entire list. I'd need more time to go into in depth about it.
Yeah, but
It's a good list.
I honestly think that was pretty good for doing that very rushed. I think that's
fair.
I think
That's fair.
I think it's a pretty good list for how we for how quick we did that.
I think there are some hot takes in here. Leonard Fournette being in C tier may piss off some people, but that's really it.
Oh well.
Yeah, but
I'm
you know,
good. We're moving on to the podcast
Nas-
polls. Save download. send
we're
them to
not
me.
gonna put this on the Twitter because we're gonna do a more in-depth one probably soon. But
Okay, that's fine.
podcast polls, not share. Oh no, our emails have been leaked. I mean, that's not really that big of a deal.
I wasn't even actually
okay.
on that screen at that time, so.
Oh, that worked out well. Okay, we had some good polls. We had some polls with a lot of votes. Thank you for all those who participated. We're gonna go through these pretty quick. Nothing too crazy or controversial. Today's poll: what's the best trade package Utah Jazz could get for Spida Mitchell? The correct answer is the Knicks, and the answer is everyone, including RJ Barrett. Kyle.
hold on, wait. I've never said I disagree. I said the Knicks themselves are not trading RJ. That's what
I think they should, though.
I agree. I don't disagree
fair.
with you.
I'm sorry,
saying
I missed that part.
I don't think the Knicks themselves will trade RJ. I think they should, because they should trade almost everyone on that team for Spida Mitchell, but I don't think they will. I think there's a couple people that are untouchable, and I think he's one of them from the Knicks.
Which is unfortunate because
Which
they
is
have
the
no
next
one worth
point.
that.
I agree, but I'm just saying.
Who is the best pitcher in the MLB? I don't know if I know this answer, but Verlander and
Verlander.
yeah, I didn't vote in this one. I'm sorry. If you're starting an NBA franchise today, which point guard do you want in the next 5 years? The answer is John Morant or LaMelo Ball. As much as I love Steph Curry and Damian Lillard, I do not want a 37-year-old or a 39-year-old. If I'm going to pick someone with very good, similar skills who's 22 and 20 who can only get better. That's what I'm going to choose. 5 years? Yeah. I think it's simple.
Yeah,
okay, good.
No disagreement.
Nope.
Okay. Kyle, I missed this.
Yeah.
Oilers,
How
did
about
they
these
sign Patrick Kane?
Evander Kane. They re-signed
Oh,
Evander Kane.
okay.
Yes.
I
Evander
was
Kane.
hella confused. Yes, I would agree.
There's two hockey polls here. One is the best NHL re-signing. The other one that's on the next page is the best signing period. That's not a re-signing.
Okay.
I
I would agree with this. Evgeny's too old. Sergachev, they paid a lot when
too
they
much
still
money
have
for
to
it.
pay Hedman. I don't know if it's too much, but they paid him a lot.
A lot.
And
I
then
honestly,
you hated this signing, but $8 million a year for Thomas.
I did at first, but when you told me how young he was, which I was
Yeah, he's like
unaware,
23.
I did
and he's
not realize
crazy
how
good.
young he was. I thought he was like upper 20s, and I hate if you're like 25 plus and you sign an 8-year contract. I just haven't seen that work enough in the NHL for me to like that kind of signing. But
Yeah,
at 23, at a 23-year-old and signing for 8 years, that's a good deal.
8 years, $8 million. He's only getting better.
He could be
Like
the future captain too. So like,
I think he
agree
is.
with that. Yeah.
I cannot find a poll for the 13th, Jake. I really looked hard, so.
Oh wow, okay, it was up there, but that's fine.
I apologize. I tried really hard. I'm not kidding.
It might have. It's probably in the tweets and replies section because it started with an @ so it probably didn't show up where you were looking. It's
Oh, my bad. Okay, anyways. Best NHL free agency signing. Johnny Gaudreau to CBGA. Columbus. I chose Trocheck, and I still think that was a huge pick by them. I think that the centers overpaid Giroux. No offense, Kyle. I know you really like him from your old team.
I don't know if they.
I think Jack
3 years?
Campbell.
3 years was that?
Something like that. I think Jack Campbell's going to have the easiest job in the NHL next year.
One of the biggest issues the Oilers had was lack of goaltending. They had 2 backup goaltenders being their starters for like the past 5-6 years. They now have an all-star starting goaltender. Oilers low-key could be the Stanley Cup favorite next year.
Yes, and they still have the best player in the whole league in the last 20 years. So
2 out of the best 10 players in the whole league right now.
You might even be able to say 2 out of 5 or 2 out of 7. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty.
Yeah. I was being generous, but yeah.
Yes. Of the benefit favorites, who's your favorite to win next year's NBA championship? This may or may not be biased at all, but Celtics and Suns. Suns will not be winning the championship next year unless they get Kevin Durant, and they're still not going to win. It should be Celtics, Bucks, and Warriors, and it should probably be Warriors, Celtics, Bucks in that order.
So I did not realize the Bucks had 0 votes in this. That's absolutely asinine.
Yes.
To give some credit to the Celtics, we checked on last week's poll. Last week's episode. They are the betting favorites currently.
Yes, because they got Malcolm Brogdon and Danilo Gallinari. I don't think he moved it much, but Brogdon did. So it should be in the order of Warriors, Celtics, Bucks, in my opinion.
That's fine. Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, so that is the podcast polls for this week. That tier list took up most of our episode, as they probably will, and football is going to probably dominate most of our stuff, other than when playoffs for MLB and new season for NHL and NBA happen later this year. But we love football, and that's a lot about what we've always talked about. Well, fantasy stuff, we're going to do our draft live. I've already said that, so that is 100% happening. We're going to do it on a normal time, too. It's just going to be a little bit longer, obviously. Thank you for watching episode 22. I didn't say at the beginning of the episode. I'm pretty sure it's episode 22.
21, I think.
21, bro.
21.
Oh,
21. We had 20 last week.
21.
Don't forget to follow the socials. Absolutely.
Yes.
Definitely check out.
Like 270 followers on Twitter, so thank you all for that.
Wow.
Did we hit 300? We hit 300, right?
We hit 300 today.
Let's
Definitely check out
go.
that production company if you guys want to check out some more podcasts. Definitely give them a shout out. Or
Absolutely. And yeah, make sure to
Sick
follow
logo.
socials. Make sure to follow socials, Instagram, Twitter, 300 followers just hit today. We're going for 1,000 by end of the year. That's something I just made up. And
That's something we just made.
yes, Instagram, go make sure to follow that. We do polls every day on Twitter. We do trivia every weekend on Instagram.
Weekends. Yes.
I said weekend.
Yes.
We will see you guys next week, next Tuesday. Thank you for your time. We love you very much. Have a good night.